Hi, this is Dave at TitleSearch.com. You may have a question of what could be delaying a title search from being completed. Typically, a real estate title search on a residential property is about a 7 to 10 man-hour process of researching records. What we do is we go into the various records rooms where that county or that property is located. There could be a deed of recorder, civil court records, probate records, UCC records, pathonetary records, assessor's records. Usually there's 4 or 5 different courthouses or deed rooms we have to go visit for one property, and that happens. It's usually 7 to 10 hours, normally over 1 to 3 business days, depending upon when the search came in. So what would make it take longer? Well, first of all, the time that the order comes in. If it comes in on a Friday afternoon and really the search can't be started in the courthouse until Monday, that might be a delay. Although the earlier we get it, we can do some preliminary searching in-house before we go to the courthouse. So the time the order comes in. Weekends are a factor. Also, if it's a basic search or an expanded search, we have 2 searches you'll see online. One's a basic title search, one's an expanded. Actually, the expanded search can be done quicker because on the expanded search, we're actually taking copies of those documents, the mortgages and deeds and liens, and taking them from the courthouse. And that allows us to do some of the work after hours. On a basic search, we're not paying for copies at the courthouse. We're just viewing them in the deed book, so we can only do the abstracting and analysis while we're there. If they close at 5 o'clock, everybody has to leave at 5 o'clock. From 5 o'clock on, we can't work on that file at all. So the expanded search will sometimes come back faster because we can pay for copies, take those copies out, do some abstracting analysis after hours, get the search back faster. That's another factor. The complexity of the property. Some foreclosure properties, commercial properties, properties with a lot of transfers may have some more complex records that take more time to retrieve and analyze, more documents to read through. That may be a delay. If there's a common name on ownership, one thing to remember is on title records, property documents are indexed by name. So to find property documents, we have to punch in the name of the owner of the property and look at all the deed books where their documents are kept for that name, and then we pull the books off the shelf and read through those documents. If the name is John Smith, in Dallas, Texas, there's probably a lot of John Smith, so we have to read every document that has the name John Smith on it to see if it's the same John Smith, the same property, and it's relevant to that search. We're probably going to exclude a lot of documents. We've had some searches where there might be 100 or 200 records for that name we have to go through, so that might create a delay if there's a common name. If there's archive documents, meaning in most cases if we see document number 1234 needs to go in that search, we can pull the book off the shelf, get that document. Some counties will have records in archive, meaning that they're not available for public immediate access. We take a little slip of paper like this, write the document number on it, they have a form, give it to the clerk, they'll call us up when that document is ready to be viewed. It could be a couple hours later, it could be the next day. Some of their old deed books are in such bad shape, they don't want to have people flipping through them every day because they'll just fall apart. So they may have them in archive records. The records office themselves could have a different procedure. Some records office don't allow access directly. You have to pull out a microfilm. Maybe you have to roll through a large. You've seen those rolling file cabinets that close up and only have one open at a time. You may have to wait for access depending on what their procedure is. Sometimes the delay is locating the address. A street address for a property is not the legal identifier for that property. For example, 12 Main Street sounds like we know what house is there, but the legal records for that property probably don't say 12 Main Street on them. We'll have a long legal description that'll go through starting from this point, going 20 feet this way and such, and we have to translate that address to a legal description. In most cases, it's pretty straightforward, but if there's more than one 12 Main Street or more than one property at that address, or if it's ambiguous, sometimes that delays a little bit as well. We can always run a search as a rush if we know in advance. If you have a certain time frame you need for your title search to be done by, let us know in advance. We may be able to put 2 or 3 or 4 people on it as a rush order to get that search done faster. But typically those are the things that could be delays. There may be others, but in most cases it's 1 to 3 business days. It's a 7 to 10 man-hour process, and we'll get it done for you as fast as we can. If you have more questions, reach us through our website at TitleSearch.com.